Okay, this is the video on building this part in SolidWorks for the CSWA. This is a practice part. I don't think this exact part is on the exam, though there is a similar part which looks like this, and another similar part that looks like this. But what I have is the drawing for this part, so I will go through the process of building this part and show a couple different options on how to do this. So first of all, I am going to draw a center line and draw half of this and revolve it, since that's the dimensions that they're giving us. So this would be the center line right in there, and then 12 inches. This one is in inches. The CSWA is usually in metric. The material is 1060 aluminum. I'll refer back to this as I build it. So file new, part, sketch something on, use the front plane, and start with the center line. One thing I do encourage is to make sure the units are right and change the material right off the bat. I didn't do that, so I'll do it now. And I am continuing to sketch. Okay, there's a one command called tools, sketch tools, dynamic mirror. And that might save you a little time. It's not that hard to make this part and then mirror the sketch, but I'll show you dynamic mirror also. So in this case, we'd need another center line because the dynamic mirror works off of a center line. And here I will go tools, sketch tools, dynamic mirror, and start roughing in. Oh, I have to choose the line I'm mirroring. So there it is. And with dynamic mirror, it gives you these two little marks that shows that you're mirroring. And quickly, I'll show you what that looks like. If I sketch here to here, you see it adds it on the other side of that mirror. It's not too difficult to just draw it and then mirror the sketch, but this is one way to go about this. This part gets a little tricky here, and I'll refer to the sketch in a moment. Escape. And oh, that's an issue with dynamic mirror. There, I got it. Okay, so my sketch looks kind of like that. Let's position this better. This being the center line right here. This being the top. And in this case, they give this dimension up here as 1 inch from here to the top of the kind of tangent to the top of the arc. So I'll have to make that an arc here. And it doesn't look exactly right. Sometimes it's helpful to go in and kind of drag to make it look a little better, but you have to, or a little closer. I might have put a accidental relation. Symmetry is not the problem, but this, I might have made this 45, or these two are parallel. And then the part, yeah, they should be parallel. The symmetric is coming from the dynamic mirror, so anything I change here changes on the opposite side. So let me start dimensioning this. From here to there is 11 inches. Again, I try to make the biggest dimensions first. And the reason I make the biggest dimensions first is when I change this, this will stay proportional. I mean, it will with any dimension, but um, you see none of my sketch changed, just the number. So it just basically scaled this up, which it does with any, but you run into more issues if you do the smaller dimensions first. Okay, then this is 20 degrees. We'll see if I have some relation in here. So I'm going to go from here to here. Yeah, see, it's set at 45, so I accidentally added a, nope, it changed it for me. That's good. So I have 20. I have a width here of 3.75. And these are all collinear, all these edges. This, I'm going to draw on the top half here, collinear and collinear. So I'll add that relation. This, shift that, collinear. So now those are 3.75 also, as well as this next part, which is, this is 1.75. And this, shift this, is collinear. And I think drawing with a dynamic mirror or having those symmetric relations makes it, when I change this, it automatically changes it on the other side, and it seems a little easier to draw that way. 12 from here to here. Oops, smart dimension. You can see I have, this drawing isn't very clear. It shows that this one's 20, but these other ones are 20 also. So I have to add, say, this and this at 20. Oh, nope, that's already defined. Let's see, if you can't figure out, oh, I know what it is. You drag something. So I can click here and drag, and you can see that I'm missing some dimensions in here. And they are, they're over here. 2.325 to there and 2.75 to there. And then this bottom section should become fully defined when I do that. 2.325. And 2.75. This is all defined, and I just have to get this top defined up here. And that is going to look like too far. 20 degrees, this radius, and 1 inch. So from here to here is 20. Because I had that symmetric relation using the dynamic mirror, it works a little simpler. I didn't have to change that. I'll go back over the dynamic mirror one more time at the end, but you can see these two little lines right there are showing that everything is mirroring, dynamic mirroring around this line. So quickly, just if I draw a circle here, it draws a circle over there. And I'll go back over how to find that. Let me just finish these last dimensions here. 1 inch from here. I think I'm going to draw that arc. I think I'm going to run into problems if I don't first. Let me just try this. I'm going to try something else, a new way. This is 1. Boom. Oh, a 3-point arc might work. Let's try that. 3-point arc, touching here, touching here, touching, oops. Let's try that again. See that, and then I have to add a, oops, I turned off dynamic mirror. Well, I'll just mirror that arc in a minute to make this shift this tangent. Same over here. This shift this tangent. And then I can define this radius up here at 1.88 or 0.188, 188 thousandths. 0.188. I'm fully defined. I don't have it over here. If I would have done that with the dynamic mirror, that would have worked. But I can just mirror this now. Mirror entities to mirror. This one, mirror about this one. There, put it there. And I can trim. Ay. It's okay, it's right. I know it's right. I just have to add that dimension here to fully defined. Okay, and now I revolve this. Feature revolve. Revolve axis here. So now this spoke problem. And I'm going to sketch it, cut it, and then circular pattern the feature. So this center line, you can see kind of that this is offset. So it's 1 inch here, and this is offset 0.375 from the center. So I'll draw that center line. I'll offset that center line, 0.375. Draw, this line does not go through the center. Neither of them, none of these spokes go through the center. So that's important to understand here. This is offset from the center. So I can sketch right on this plane. Oops. Escape key, escape key. Sketch on this plane, draw my center line. And it doesn't really have to touch up here, but it can. I just want to make sure it's vertical. I can offset that. 0.375, the opposite direction. Check mark. Now, what's important here, I don't want to draw this through the center. This one does not go through the center. That would really confuse the issue here. So I'm just going to intentionally draw it something like that. Escape. And I can smart dimension this at, what was it, 25 degrees from here to here. Okay, I'm going to convert entities. I could draw an arc, but I can convert entities just as easily. So this entity and this entity, check mark. Now I have that whole circle there and this whole circle here. And I have to trim. So trim this, 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 and this. Check mark. Now this should be a closed shape. Usually it shows a different color, but this is 1 inch. Not like that, it's a horizontal dimension, so you got to be careful. That's not horizontal. This one is. Fully defined. I can add my radiuses now. Fill it. It's going to be 0.375 here. And here. Check mark. 0.125 here. Little tiny radius. Check mark. And 0.75 up here. Check mark. Feature extrude cut. In this case, I can go through all. So reading this one can be a little confusing. It looks, this edge is to the left of center. This edge here is to the left of the center line. Now to circular pattern this, I'm going to try it without making an axis, but usually I make a reference geometry, make an axis. I'm going to try it without. So circular pattern. The direction is just an edge or a circle. Yeah, that worked. And I think I have to count the number of them. That looks about right, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep, it's 14. Check mark. I'm done. The mass should be one of these numbers. Evaluate mass properties. 46778. 4671. So I'm slightly off. Let me double check, make sure I didn't forget a fillet or something. I encourage you to position it like the isometric drawing and kind of look at it. So I'll do that. And I'm not sure that the drawing I have is right either, to be honest. Oh, okay. I trust mine being right. So it was definitely within 1%, so I would trust what. Okay, so that is how to make this one more time. The dynamic mirror tool. Here's a brand new part. You start with a centerline sketch. Tools, sketch tools, dynamic mirror. You choose this. Now anything I draw on one side gets duplicated on the other side. And it adds these symmetric relations, which are pretty helpful in that part.